What's good? What's good? What's poppin'? It's your boy BC, one half of Zane. I'm just chilling, you know. And you ever heard of a thing called people smile in your face and stab you in the back? You know, everything that you see is not always the truth. You know how we think some people have integrity, but in reality, behind the scenes, they be doing little snake stuff. That word integrity, man, you got to be very careful because people don't have core values no more. People don't have those core values. They don't care. They do things that they feel will benefit them nowadays. Man, when you got integrity, man, oof, you got to make the hardest decisions in life, and you got to take some of the heat. You got a whole boulder on your shoulders where you got to carry when you got that integrity. When you carrying that boulder, you're going to have people beating you and throwing rocks at you and kicking you on the floor because you refuse to flip. I salute you if you ever had to go through that. You could go through that with family. You feel me? You go there with family. You think you're doing the right thing, and the next thing you know, everybody comes after you. Because they want this, they want that from you. You think you being the true you to your family, taking care of them, picking up the phone calls and being there for them. But some people are just evil, man. Just because someone's blood, you just got to be careful when you're around certain individuals. Because sometimes your own enemy's better than your own friends. See, everything that you see is not always true. You think your friend is your partner, but when you fall out with your partner becomes the one to destroy you. You got to move. You got to be easy with some people, and even you got to be easy in what you do, because you could disrespect someone today, and then tomorrow you may need their help. A lot of y'all don't understand, man. The thing with your brain, sometimes your brain will run on emotions, if that makes any sense, where your emotions won't allow you to believe in the truth. So you end up believing the lies. And when you believe the lies, you make these mistakes. See, people would rather believe lies because it makes them feel good. Believing lies allows you to cover yourself up and not take the blanket off to see the truth. It's like when you think someone's your partner, and that same partner goes behind your back and gossips. And when you're trying to chop it up with the person and hey, you start to realize the whole time the person ain't really rock with you. The person's not really a friend. This happens in real life. You passing down information to someone you think you're cool with or your family, the whole time they passing the information you passing to them to line you up. There's some people that be jealous. They be jealous of your come up. You married, you got a whole husband or you got a wife and you doing good. And the whole time they've been waiting for you to fall. When you fall, you start seeing how people act. Everything that you see is not always the truth. You see it in the news, how these people be manipulating the news. They make it seem that certain groups of people, like for example, they always say that black folk, we run the news when we have no power in the media, which is interesting. You know how that goes? But if you continue this lie, you start to believe that we have some power in the media, which is not true. People navigate this world, I'll say 90+% of the time, in their brain believing in lies. Because a lot of time when they get the truth, it's already too late. Everybody has a bias, but sometimes you got to beware of those biases. You got to know how to limit those biases, because what a bias does is it destroys the perception of the truth. You got to look at different views, different angles to make sure that you make the right decision in life. You got to ask questions. You got to have some empathy depending on what the situation is. You got to be mindful of your surroundings. See, a lot of y'all would rather jump in freezing water and get sick. Head first. Boom. That's what some of y'all rather do. And all I can say is this. If you don't refocus yourself, slow down, and make smarter decisions in life, you're going to run over a cliff, and there's going to be nothing to save you. I'm just talking. I'm saying a bunch of stuff. But it's just my thoughts, right? Y'all have a good one. Peace.